right. Good to see everybody. Got 1, 2, 3. All right. Well, how many of you like to get a new box of crayons? Me. All right, Declan. Scarlett, yep, or did you have something to add, or just you like to get a new box of crayons? How? And you do, Peyton? Wonderful. How many of you, though, would prefer to use markers? Yeah, they're kind of, you like, just one marker? Which one? Blue. All right. Well, you're going to like part of this children's sermon as we go along. Well, crayons aren't used as much as they used to be, but it's still fun to have a fresh new box of crayons. And you know, it used to be that a box of crayons was just 8 colors. There were blue, green, yellow, orange, red, purple, black, brown. And that was it. I know, Peyton, it's like, what? And how many of you like to have more crayons to choose from? Oh, yeah, like this great big box. Kind of old. I think I bought it when Kevin and Trevor were little and used to come and visit my house, so that's how old it is. But it's fun to have a lot of color choices. But then sometimes it's hard to make a decision, right? Because you've got all these different ones to choose from. And I was looking in here, and out of this box, these 2 crayons, one is called Goldenrod, one is called Thistle, pretty fancy names, and I don't think they've ever been used out of this box. So there's just a lot of choices. But now they have metallic crayons, right? Would you use it? I would too. It would be fun to just use it for the first time, right? There's metallic crayons. There's neon crayons. Anybody have neon crayons? There's glitter crayons. Do you have glitter crayons? Scarlett's got glitter crayons. Confetti crayons. I can't believe it. So there are actually several lessons that we can learn from crayons. And I have a poem that I want to read to you. It's by a person named... You are in just a second. You are anticipating. Oh, we will definitely get you blue, Declan. But the person that wrote this poem, is always important to tell who wrote this poem, because someday when one of you grows up and writes a poem, or even when you're young and you write a poem or you write a story, you're going to want everybody to know you wrote it, right? So we always have to give credit to this person, right? Exactly. So the person that wrote this poem, which is called Just a Box of Crayons, his name is Shane DeRolf, and they made it into a book, but I don't have the book with me today. I couldn't get it. So as Peyton asked, you are going to help me visualize this poem. So let's see, Declan gets to hold blue. Well, these are the colors that we have, because these are the colors that are mentioned in the poem. So everybody pick a color. Pick a color. And what's going to happen is when I say your color in the poem, very good, Julia. Got one, Max? Then you hold up your crayon. All right? All right, so you're going to have to listen to the poem and listen for your color. Are you ready? Okay. Just a Box of Crayons by Shane DeRolf. While walking in a toy store the day before today, I overheard a crayon box with many things to say. I don't like red, said yellow, and green, you've even got the right jacket on, said nor do I. And no one here likes orange. Hold up your orange. Nope, you got blue. But no one knows quite why. Get ready, Declan. We are a box of crayons that doesn't get along, said blue. There we go. To all the others, something here is wrong. Well, I bought that box of crayons and took it home with me and laid out all the crayons so the crayons could all see. They watched me as I colored with red. It's got red, and blue, and green, And black. Anybody got black?
No.
And white?
No.
And orange. And every color in between. They watched as green, got to be on the ball there, became the grass, and blue became the sky. The yellow sun was shining bright on white clouds drifting by, colors changing as they touched, becoming something new. They watched me as I colored. They watched till I was through. And when I'd finally finished, I began to walk away. And as I did, the crayon box had something more to say. I do like red, said yellow. And green said, so do I. And blue, you are terrific. So high up in the sky, we are a box of crayons, each of us unique. But when we get together, the picture is complete. So basically what this poem is about is what? Did these crayons get along? No. They didn't, and they didn't even really know why, did they? Maybe. Yeah. Do you think they were jealous? Maybe some of them felt unused because we talked about thistle and goldenrod and they weren't used. So maybe, but when the artist took them out of the box and he colored with each one of them, they realized that when all of them are used, yep, I've got a picture here to show you. Something beautiful can be created, right? Looks pretty, doesn't it? Yeah.
You color that?
I did, and I haven't colored in a long time.
And why don't you color?
I think maybe I should do it more, shouldn't I? Well, that reminds me of why we are all here, because we are each uniquely created by God. We all have special talents. We have special gifts, which we could say are kind of like our colors. And when we come together, right, and we work together as a church, each of us using those talents and gifts, we become like a beautiful picture of service to God. You are going to get one, but I got a few more things to say. And one of them is a Bible verse, 1 Corinthians 12, 5 and 6, because it's always important, because that's where we learn from. Yeah, we're not going to go color on anything. There are different kinds of service, but the same Lord. There are different kinds of working, but in all of them and everyone, it is the same God at work. So we all have different kinds of service, right? But God is the master artist. He needs each one of us to create the picture of our church. The picture of our church is right here. All this picture right here. And each one of us as crayons, we have an important part. Now I've got one more thing to this puzzle. No, we do not draw with our crayons, right? But are we all important in this church? She loves this book. So how many of you know this book, The Day the Crayons Quit by Drew DeWalt? I figured pretty much everybody does. Well, the boy, if not, the boy in this book, for some adults that probably don't know yet, his name was Duncan, and he found a stack of letters written to him by his box of crayons. I know, we're going to read just a couple of the letters really quick. Yes. And for instance, one of the letters from Red, who's got the red crayon, said, Dear Duncan, right, it's me, Red Crayon. We need to talk. You make me work harder than any of your other crayons. All year long, I wear myself out coloring fire engines, apples, strawberries, and everything else that's red. So he was put up with that, wasn't he? And then there's beige. Dear Duncan, I'm tired of being called light brown or dark tan because I am neither. I am beige and I am proud. I'm also tired of being second place to Mr. Brown Crayon. It's not fair that Brown gets all the bears, ponies, and puppies while the only things I get are turkey dinners and wheat. I know. And then maybe just a couple more. How about Dear Duncan? You color with me, but why? Most of the time I'm the same color as the page you are using me on, white. If I didn't have a black outline, you wouldn't even know I was there. And then black says, I hate being used to draw the outline of things. They were all upset, weren't they? And one more I think I had back here I wanted to read. Oh, of course, Declan's color. Dear Duncan, it has been great being your favorite color this past year and the year before and the year before that. I have really enjoyed all those oceans, lakes, rivers, raindrops, rain clouds, and clear skies. I know, but why? The bad news is that I am so short and stubby, I can't even see over the railing in the crayon box anymore. I need a break. So he'd been overused, hadn't he? Yeah. So, but what happened? Duncan was like, what is he going to do? They felt stuck, didn't they? They wanted to be used for something different than the same old thing that everyone expected of them. So what did Duncan do? He surprised them, and he used them in a completely different way, didn't he? Because this is the land. You can see the bear and the horse and the bus on the land, and this is the water, green. So the land's blue, the water's green, and there went my mic. And in the water is a ship, a boat, a whale, which is orange, and alligator, the crocodile or alligator, one or the other, is blue. So he did them all different colors. But what I think that we can learn from this is Duncan could see the beauty in the crayon's colors that other people could not, right? To him, a pink airplane, a green monkey, looked perfect. Maybe we wouldn't think that way, but God has given us many, many gifts to use for him. Maybe we haven't discovered them all yet, just the same way that Duncan decided to use his crayons differently. So, and did the crayons like it? They were surprised. They were delighted. So, I have one more Bible verse to read to you. Make sure we don't use our crayons on anything yet. I'm going to collect those in a minute because I have something else for you. Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, do your work heartily as for the Lord rather than for men. So whatever you do, do it with all of your might. So maybe, as I said, maybe you have some gifts you haven't discovered yet. You might even go on a mission trip when you are grown, or even when you're a teenager, like I know some people in this church have done. Sarah and Lisa and people that have, Mason and probably more. I don't remember all the names that went on the up trip. But Sarah went to the Philippines, Lisa went to Russia. Or maybe one of you will learn a musical instrument and help lead in worship like these people. Maybe one of your friends will want to know about Jesus and you can talk with them, because we all need to be open to using new and undiscovered talents for God. Those are our colors, the gifts that God has given us in so many different ways. So, we're going to sum up. We're going to be like the crayons. We're going to learn to get along with each other, see the talents that others have so that you can appreciate them and work together, and be open to new things that God wants you to do. Because think about the sunset. Normally the sky is blue, right? That's how God painted it. But with the sunset, how does God paint it? He paints it pink, orange, bright, yellow, red. It can be fantastic to see, and that's what he wants for you. So, would you like to hand out the coloring sheets, Peyton?
Yes.
Thank you so much. So you can make this kind of a picture with them, or you can make an unexpected picture. It's up to you. And I have something else for you, because how can we talk about a box of crayons and not have crayons for you? So everybody can get a box of crayons.